Today, Ohtani still expected to pitch this season. Blake Snell, with Edwin Diaz returning on Wednesday to bolster the bullpen. That doesn't simply ignore the possibility of adding Tarek Skubal, Chris.
An impressive statement outside of the All-Star break. They win back-to-backs, what they're thinking, and they did it, without Ohtani, describing the knee situation. Dodger fans want to know, and Dave Roberts, will he be available in the postseason? And
this is the model, especially with the older veteran rotation of Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell. That will have is very important, not only for pitching to avoid, but they still have pitching depth. Justin Robleski, who is an all-star, depth is fine. There's no stress level. Also, you have enough of a commanding lead in that division
in the postseason. But I want to ask you about Skubal, because if you were making that team is out there, even if the Dodgers don't, would you trade him, or would you try to keep him and maybe
trade him, especially if you're talking to teams like the Dodgers that have a lot of, you got to give him up because he has a chance to walk at the end of the year.
Yeah, Tiger fans want to.
Welcome to 75 degrees here at Citi Field, and the back-to-back defending Chambers game last night 4-2. Off to a 5-2 start to the second. Calls and find out what is wrong with everything, but when you look at the Dodgers, you put it all together. The injuries that have existed, they don't even have their full complement of stars. About two-time defending champs, they're going for 3, and they're going to get healthier. Colin McClain, who's already established himself as one of the best young pitchers in the league, and they knee-jerked the last couple starts, and he even was in the World Baseball Classic, so it's a beast. This guy's a complete package. What he did last year in the postseason, knew it all. Yeah, he started his second half with a complete game against the Yankees. He had the 2 Cubs and the Mets, and he couldn't ask for a better night for baseball here in New York. Ready for baseball here in New York, the Dodgers and Mets. And this weekend series off of this Dodger lineup with Ohtani to lead things off for Dave Roberts. Andy Pott head of the order, and then a former MVP and Mookie Betts, the shortstop and 5-hitter. Tommy Val Tucker's in right. Teoscar Hernandez in left, and Dalton Rushing continues to gone right for the Mets this season, but here's been an exception. Nolan McClain, who's an has power and spin. And you're filled with a league of power arm, different style pitchers dominate with 2 different ways. 6 scoreless innings. He's got around a 2 ERA since the start of June. And the second half of the road trip through New York to take on the Yankees, then Philadelphia. Now the Mets in, and off we go with a fastball downstairs from McClain. Well, the runs, they're very disciplined. They don't chase. That's going to be the battle for McClain. Got a fastball by him. He's been throwing that four-seam more and more. They know he throws the breaking ball, the cutter, the slider. His changeup is... Ohtani smacks one left center. Making a shortstop type play right there to stack up. High and tight on Andy Pott, and really right from. Now you got the trade deadline looming. We were talking to Andy Green before the game. He feels like that's his #1 job as the interim manager of this team, is to help alleviate. Soto placed on the.
Pero no pudo, sobrepasó el bate según el Alfonso.
Best hitter on the Mets.
El primer mexicano rodado por el
overhauled this roster. Has run around right there, first baseman. Bounce back to McClain. A couple quick outs in this first inning. And there's the inner half of the plate. That's top to bottom with your breaking ball. Here's a perfect example of a fastball he's going to attack, but he to first. It's been nothing but hard stuff so far. 10 pitches, all 4 seamers to first base.
It's individual work, but definitely can't do this without my teammates.
Receiving the third baseball MVP award of his career. Here come the Mets with one of the talented rookies to lead things off and injured. A couple home runs in his first week back from the injured list. Last year has followed that up with a great regular season. He's coming off a complete, because you just can't know what he's going to throw. There's his pitch mix. The split-year-old who came up in May grounds the first pitch foul. Last start, 21 first pitch strikes, which is splitter right there is sack foul, and the Mets are looking in on the hands. Back to Yamamoto and a comeback. There again is another example of inside dominance with the soft liner back to him. During spring training, never really did get his footing, so he You're going the last few days, sitting above 400 for the last week.
In health, and they haven't had many games together.
Yeah, deadline coming up a week from Monday, August 3rd. And the Mets, Oscar Hernandez. Not easy.
Well, not a guy that's going to live in the quadrant of the 9 quadrants in the strike zone.
Bo Bichette, next downstairs. The Bichette wanted. Yeah, and he hits the shot.
And part of his increase has been because on breaking balls, he's willing to will. Now, it's not his best version of a breaking ball, but he sees it over the middle of the plate and puts the ball in play a little over half the time to that side of the field.
First pitch curve for a strike. Ends up being around a guy that shrugs off mistakes and failure better than he does. Down 0-2. And top.
Well, he was a no man's land. The only thing he could have done is try to lob one here in this position, whether you're the catcher or the first baseman or pitcher.
Of him in his first week back from injury. A home run last night.
Yeah, some of the Mets fans are complaining about the known commodity.
Yeah, because that's one of the best things about Pete Alonso, about Brandon Nimmo. A couple years of staying healthy. It's a nasty splitter right there, 1-2.
Years. He can throw that fastball upwards to 97. He can throw that split.
With a 1-2 pitch. And checked his swing. Count evens up.
Maybe a little low.
There has been a time to get Yamamoto. It has been a 2-2. Robert takes outside and it's full.
He said the following.
Very home run reliant. We love to get what little offense they've had. This payoff pitch. Got him with the splitter to finish off the score.
Miguel Cabrera, after he played in the final game of his
Carlos Beltran, Jeff Kent. Into the hall. See to open the second for the Dodgers. He takes strike one from Nolan McLean.
Trabaja rápido y es lo difícil a veces timearlo porque viene y te tiene
1-1 on.
He's made some changes, really. When you think about launching, he brought that bat path back into a lower angle, and that's why I think.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And he's going to challenge right here and win it. That pitch. Lead-off guy in a second inning, but ball on Mookie Betts right there just to go back a little bit of power. I'm going to be more of a line drive hitter. And the power is the best it's been in years. It hustles on and makes the catch.
But I think what Max Muncy has done, not only defensively at third, this is sustainable.
What do you mean by that?
Check muscle memory. And that swing change creates that result failures. And guys who go through their ebb and flows of streaks, backed in, I've arrived. You'll see the steady. You'll see the
to be able to say that given his path. 1 ball 2 strikes on Tommy. I mean, let go by this
for making those changes. Because I know the team that's
now second in LA Dodger history in home runs, just past Ron Say. Missed the first few months recovering from off-season hitting from both sides of the plate, playing all over the place. McLean sends it, and McLean has retired the first 6 in order. A piece of the game. Bid on game-used jerseys, baseball, spaces, and more. Auctions.com for the Mets against Yamamoto. Polanco off of the bench. Case. Polanco, one of those guys,
cada vez que encuentra equipos así está muy bien en la parte media, lo vuelvo a repetir.
Bitter in their run to Game 7 of the championship series. Close to 30 home run. On this 1-1 from Yamamoto, he cuts over a splitter, strike 2.
Well, the Mets have $5 million per win right now based on their payroll.
Oh, spiked that one. 2-2. Back at Dodger Stadium in April, and both guys were awesome. 7 innings. This is away with a heater. 3-2.
This is where he can throw 1 of 5 pitches on 3-2. He has such confidence with it.
Polanco es un rodado por segunda base.
When you're a hitter, because he stays out of the middle of the plate, he can throw a variety of different pitches.
Tries it again on 3-2 to Polanco. Backhand Tommy Edman. First down to the second for more on Yamamoto.
He's taking greater control. His catchers still call his pitches, but he that greater conviction. We talked about the same thing with Max Muncy. It's leading to greater.
His start against the Yankees last weekend was on a day of a doubleheader. 1 ball, 1 strike on Marcus Semien, and you were touching on this before. He only got 6 swings and misses. He can go out and get it.
And he did it in Yankee Stadium. Most pitchers, if they're honest, they're trying to hit balls don't come back. And I think that's the confidence that he has. What we
Semien chucks one to Muncy. Out balls for the first 2 outs of the inning. Here's Brett Beatty.
Have you seen it? And B, he's just a bulldog.
Wow. Beautiful curve, feathered in. Trying to follow up what Sasaki did last night with the 7 innings. One of the Yamamoto's 0-2. Back to the splitter to finish him off. Nolan McLean has retired the first 6 Dodgers. No score to the top of the 3rd. Guy the Mets went after hard. They were disappointed when he chose the $60 million a year contract, but the worst season of his career.
Yeah, he's definitely pitchers. It's really strange that other than right down the middle up, and that's the pitch right there. I mean, you think about a fastball, even though it's a really...
Tucker's averaged over 25 home runs. MVP candidate when he got hurt in 2024 last season. Crushes it. One of the hardest hit.
Amarillo, pero eso manejado. Pegó en la parte alta para la primera carrera del Dodgers.
Bueno, no le habían hecho ningún daño. Salió a 107 millas por hora. Una distancia de 300
pulls his hands in and just barely keeps it fair.
First time as a Dodger, he's homered in back-to-back ball games. And the Dodgers are on the board first. Oscar Hernandez taking high. We're talking to Dave Roberts, and he said, yeah, I know that it hadn't really felt like that. Pitching and defense, the biggest reason this time. And the manager's saying it's about time we start putting together some better situations. On this 1-2 pitch, Hernandez chases for strike 3.
The attention of the ball club, and look, they're talented beyond belief. Doesn't get lazy, complacent, because we can't just rely on
Dalton Rushing, who has taken over the start of the injured list, pokes this one into left field. Yeah, and he's got a base hit season, and really this is all about just getting ready for October. How do you not take your foot?
And that's why he's a career 300 hitter. But guys like Ohtani, when they
no sabemos si Dalton Rushing
iba a turn and throw the
second, dice que no. Entonces ahí a lo mejor el
season. Dodgers at the corners. Instead of an inning
where the first baseman has to get further inside the base. And you see Lindor is going to be looking for that ball more.
Beatty has played first base since May 1st, and this year the first time that he's played it. Paez takes a strike.
Run prevention equates to great success when you have so many moving parts and so many different.
Some cases where, yeah, it makes sense, right? A guy can, but a bunch of guys throughout this roster. I mean, you bring Bichette, Jorge Polanco, second baseman for his career. They're planning on him being the first baseman. 0-2. Snaps a string of 19 consecutive innings without an earned run allowed by McLean. Pitch. Count evens up. 2 seasons in the major leagues, 2 World Series rings for Paez. Now 2 from McLean. Punter chance at it.
He finishes closer to the 3rd target. That he's trying to catch the ball and find the base at the same play, no matter how many times you practice it in spring training.
2 outs, and Freddie drowned out by these Mets fans that are sick of watching this guy hit all those years in Europe back to the old schedule.
4 and 12. They've done it again.
So they've given the air to Lindor.
Impossible. You cannot give an error to a guy.
You must see that hit him in the helmet. I didn't see that.
Y ahora viene Maxi. Era strike, pero aún así no buscó el reto.
Muncy up. Took strike 3 his first time on a back to a breaking pitch. It's 1-2-1 on a 2-run home run from him. First against Garrett. Dodgers 3 for 4 against the hard stuff in this inning. That's off in the glove.
Ahí está. Lo que tienes que hacer es dejar el picheo ahí, porque cuando quieres hacerle el frame.
Well, this is a slider that backs up, but still got to be caught.
8th pass ball this season for Francisco Alvarez with a third time. The third time in a 2-2. Strikes out Muncy for the second time today. The defense in a row connecting on a home run. Dodgers get 3 in the third.
That's the next unforgettable.
Kyle Tucker heating up for the Dodgers. Home runs in both games.
De Álvarez, que ayer conectó cuadrangular.
Hands one away for ball 1. Over a month. Injury that normally takes 6 to 8 weeks. But it's rare to go after.
La primera que otorga
Saca de ritmo al pitcher.
2 Ks, no walk. 4-pitch walk to the 9-hitter.
First base side of the rubber, and then the other one really slingshots himself with a third base side and finishes firm on that left side, and they both do it.
What a good game for young pitcher. Kid sitting home to watch the way these guys
Not help McLean, but he's gotten underneath a few pitches that has gotten him off his regular.
line back to Yamamoto to start the ball game. Take side for ball 1. Thought it was interesting directions. Brought up John Smoltz.
Well, and what that means to a guy like him, because he's got various lanes to get you out. Splitter.
It's 1-2.
That's a bad challenge. Those are the challenges again that I still shake my head at, thinking the 1-2 versus 2-1. But it's kind of.
Yeah, and 1 pitch later, Yamamoto finishes him off with a splitter. That's a strike on Lindor. This is a player to be in.
Well, that was on Tom Seaver Day to 43,000 fans.
Thinking we got it in the bag. We got a pushover rookie here. And they did. They just checked down to make sure that third base. All right, so it's 0-2 on Lindor. Get the call on the field before you get the challenge. You think about the psychology of Francisco Lindor himself as borderline Mets legend, what he did to get him into that close to a trip to the World Series, only to have the next year. And I don't know, as a big-time superstar, I'm probably thinking, okay, this well. While Soto does his thing, MVP caliber season great. And it's a reminder that these are people before they're players, and that's it. Takes the walk right here. So there's been talk of trading Francisco Lindor. That's part of the question. The other question is if there's after this. And we got just the guy when the deadline starts to roll
it out either. The president of baseball operations, David Stern, said yesterday he's owed $160 million over the next 5 years. Welcome back to Citi Field here with Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. Dave, so much.
But tonight he's not as sharp as he usually is, and he can make pitch when he needs to.
Shohei Ohtani supposed to have a bullpen session today.
As far as that, I think that for us, I think certainly the position that we've put our in, he is good to go, and we don't have any setbacks. And he had a bullpen for us to just kind of let's take a couple steps back, not put him into a corner.
Last pitch on July 3rd, dealing with that knee issue. And as a pitcher, his biggest value to the Dodgers is as their leadoff hitter.
Running the bases, you got to have that adrenaline temperature of baseball. When you see it, you go for it. And then I've been trying to tell people, anything goes wrong with your lower half, pitching's going to suffer. Hitting.
Betts takes strike 3 called for the first out. Two-sport guy, two-way guy at Oklahoma State. In fact, he had 8 home runs in his first season as a pro. Drafted him, and they left it up to McLean what he wanted to do. If he wanted to do what I think you're a sure thing as a pitcher And so he said, I'm going to think about it. And the next day he went out and he homered and said, I'm good. Edmund to left, 2 gone.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. Very athletic to repeat that delivery, and it's unique and to pick up that ball and that spin. Ball gets on you
7 miles per hour. Home run off the foul pole. Now he sends one the other way, through the track and up against the wall. 24/7. Make your mark, become a legend. And 6 available now on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Nintendo Smash. Yamamoto comes home and a fastball's by him. Kenny, you got a little something on MLB.
And I asked him, all right, what's it like catching Yamamoto in a video game? And the fact that Yamamoto is so... You show him where you want the pitch thrown, and he hits that spot, and if he misses...
Different pitches, and as a hitter, I don't know which one of them I'm going to get.
Yeah, he has tremendous feel and utilized not only the information, as Kenny talked about, scouting report and creating his own. Balance and deliver a pitch more times than not, right where he
2 gone in the 4th. Always in control. I'm talking in the middle of his delivery.
He can delay his delivery and hold his leg up with balance and go. Hands come out. All the things about pitching is timing. Got to be in a throwing position of power, and it's perfect. It's literally perfect. And those two.
It's 1-1 on Simeon. You could use
the way he complements a hard slider.
You know, it's a lot of credit to them. A lot of credit to CY, a lot of credit to our ownership.
3 of 2 of them, and an 8-pitch 4th inning.
It's really incredible.
To the 5th we go, 3-0.
To be world champs now, man, it's crazy.
Sam Schlittler doing it again last night. 12 strikeouts against the 2 back of the Rays. And lead the Phillies again for the 6th out of the last 8.
Cuando Oscar se mantiene macetear más pelota y ahí se ganó un doble con su
right field.
Doblete del día de hoy. Ayer también conectó doble mexicano y se pone en posición anotadora.
Was hit them where they're not off the end of the bat. Great effort, and you can possibly get away with keeping him at first.
Grammar, and 100-some years later, fix it. Hit them where they're not. And a strike on Dalton Rushing. Singled his first time. Came into school when they can from the neck. His shooting has kept him out since the start of June. But Dave Roberts to learn on the job, play every day for the first time. Going to be totally fresh. How many times are you going to get a catcher who's fresh going into the post? Dodgers on Wednesday. He's been out since April.
Do his miss bats with that breaking ball, of course. Rushing's trying to.
Went around, strike 3, and there's the 5th for him.
You see a ball in the middle part of the plate, but then it disappears, and you can't. Mr. Ohtani, this first pitch, I would not be throwing a fastball. They're ready to waylay on one for this pitch. Pitch, a backward curveball.
Is that just always going to pretty much be the case with him?
Not always, but and knowing obviously that a base is open with Ohtani one of the best, and a hitter knows it too. So a hitter goes up there and it's a game. And the more, and we don't have the 15 to 20 at bats against somebody. It is the I know you know and I know.
1-2 to Ohtani is a fastball that moves back to the inside corner for strike 3. That is a sweet single.
Both pitchers command with their fastballs been a little bit off. Maybe say they're amped up the action out of the hitter. He's definitely going to think that's inside.
As the hitter takes it through to Brett Hernandez. First hit for the Dodgers with a run.
One of McLean's best, and I would argue, because defense, you tip your hat. But the game has been determined early on by that inning for being able to cash in on it. But 4 runs, home runs.
That's a bullet in the center field.
But I know those things will even themselves out, but they've been really good on the offensive juggernaut stadium, but this offense can put up.
Gaze in 2017 was considering retiring, going back to pick the Dodgers. What a career he's put together.
Just through that sinker in, they got the strike also. There it is.
Yeah, gets him for the third time on that pitch and gets 3 Ks and get another run.
Austin Hayes with an off-road taco.
West Coast against East Coast. LA against New York. 4-0. Dodgers in front as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Joe Davis, John Smoltz inning for the Mets. Swing and a miss on a first pitch curve from Yamamoto. Wins needed 52 pitches the first 3 innings, but an 8-pitch 1-2. Back-to-back curves, and it's 0-2. Attention to his innings and his pitch counts. Where's he going to end up in? Up the middle and a base hit for Beatty. Open the 5th.
And the split finger down. Didn't do what it's been doing all night. Gets it off the end of him. Out City.
Fue precisamente la 1, 2, 3 en la cuarta entrada y ahora tiene hombre en primera base.
Steve Cohen had his way.
Everybody he can that would impact this franchise in a positive. Speaking of which, their pitching staff's getting scarier and scarier in the direction in the American League as favorites.
There's a hop in the 5th inning for the bottom of the order from New York. Then tonight, Ryan Weathers pitched good, very good. Very little run support. Himself ready, and all he did was stand in the box. Mets with their best threat right here, 1st and 2nd. Kenny, what is the latest on Judge?
The latest is probably no earlier than mid-August, and even that might be optimistic, something they want to address. They want to add to their bullpen as well, but with Judge on...
Tricky. Yeah, it is. In the American League with that 61-43 record. Trap.
Hard part for these next 9 days for the GMs are extras and who you are, who you think you're better at. If distance.
Ground ball right side. Spear with a backhand by Freeman.
Everything you would ever want.
And now here's a guy who a couple years ago, every time he came up in a inning, he went off. And Ohtani was the only thing that kept him from winning MVP. He's been top 10 in MVP voting. All time among shortstops and home runs. 285. Mets 0 for 4 today with runners in scoring position. That makes them 7 for their last. Lindor swings and misses. Strike 2.
Wait. 2 strikes here. Tried to get there. That's the first one he kind of pulled. Lack of that late break on the outside.
Fastball missed up. 75 pitches have gone away here in the 5th. Popped up. Left. Lindor is out number 2.
Same thing here as
Does that mean anything but a fastball? Curve away. That is a foul ball.
Cowboy Ohtani.
Yeah, leadoff hit from Brett Beatty. We go. Mookie Betts a leadoff. And the play that Betts made to finish off the bottom of the 5th inning leads us in. Took him some time to come back from that. No longer is he the 900 be contending for MVPs, but when you put together elite defense at shortstop, 100, that's still a really valuable player.
It's just amazing. I think words don't describe it. And move him to short and say, oh, that's nice for a year. But to do it full time is amazing. That trend.
Shit for Betts to open the 6th. Unprecedented move, really, to be that move off of short to the outfield. But it had never happened that a guy had played that. Now where you don't even think twice about it.
It's amazing. It's also amazing over time how this you expect. Like you could a long time ago be a really good offensively and maybe catcher in an era where it's tough to score. You're seeing some premier position.
I'm good, brother. You?
I know you talk about especially off innings are 10 for 15.
Yeah, that's not going to be a recipe of success. Usually don't wiggle out of against really good teams. Maybe once in a while as pitchers where you get through 3 innings and there's traffic.
Edman knifes one to Lindor, and he gets the out at second. Off balance, and it looked like that ball hit a...
Got jammed and had spin going away from him. And there's another athletic shortstop, the 4th inning, and you're like, you think it's the 8th, and you just can't believe it's. That's the fatigue factor that great teams will put on you.
Even Tucker, swing and a miss. Boy, this is Tucker hadn't done much, but these 2 swings today, his hardest hit ball is as good as the swing has looked. Maybe at any point this year.
Result.
Runner takes off and no throw.
It's a line drive to right field, and you're like, hang with him. Yeah. It doesn't feel good. Even though it sometimes care how hard the balls hit off the bat, but you know what something's going.
On this 2-1, Tucker watches it miss way outside.
Intentional pitch around, it looks like.
And there it is. And this came into the series 2 for his on the road, 5-1 with 229 away from New York. In danger for
coming into this game hot, but he's facing a hot team, and what this Dodger team has done, they've made the adjustments, and they've seen
fouls back the first pitch, and then a miserable month stretch. Last night had 2 hits as the first. Back to the conversation we're having about this offense of Dave Roberts. First and second, 1 away.
It's the worst part about being a pitcher. You're down 4-1. You know that.
Got to chase. And you figure he.
You got to lock in on a pitch, though. You can't just know that.
Good stop by Alvarez this time.
So you just throw it. You can't just throw it. You got to be able to throw it with conviction. See, there's 2. And the swing before is what really kind of throws you off. Like he swung at a ball.
And he ends up walking it. Rushing's got a grand slam against one of the 11 home run leaders first couple weeks into the season in a backup role.
He's got a look.
Bangs it up the middle. It is a double play to get Rushing lines into the double play. You know, the old baseball cliche that it tends to even itself 6. Luis Robert takes a ball from Yamamoto. Keeps the Mets. Brittle is the word, but you can push him as far as you want to push him. And if there were any doubts left about that, he
sure did.
He's walked a couple. He's fallen behind more than usual. It's 3-1 on Rob. Edgardo Enriquez and Alex Vesia have both started. It's 3-1. Robert rounds it foul. 3-2. Walked him. 3rd one.
Well, where he's down, get ground balls. And where normally that's a sign of a good pitcher. He's battled his way into the 6th inning.
Game has issued 3 of them here. Talking about the reliability of Yamamoto, and the Dodgers have those 2 guys. We were talking about Ohtani earlier. He's not pitched since July 3rd. 0-2 to Polanco. It is swung on and missed. Half-hearted swing and a miss right there.
A lot of hitters are going to have a hard time because that pitch has become such.
Marcus Semien lofts one in the air to center. I've heard some hitters theorize that, you know, they get so much work.
Exactly right, and I think, you know, for me personally, 96, that changed mine. Swing.
Then it went away collectively across baseball for.
is thrown more like a fastball, and it's in your finger hand size. No, you do have to have it. Yeah, I don't think I got it. Yamamoto doesn't have it. That's been part of the increase in that pitch. Oh! One pitch. Full count. First 6 seasons, in their 8th year. The amazing Mets win it all behind Gil Hodges, former Dodger. Ohtani sends the first pitch he sees from Daniel DeWitt. And here's why I try to tell people ABS, it's good to challenge, but it would never be good full time. That's an unhittable pitch. Basically, guess if that touches the top of that line, it's worth the challenge. And you've got to imagine this is the kind of starting you're pretty proud of on a night where you didn't have your best stuff. A feel of pitches. And whoa! Ewing comes in front and makes the catch. He was going to take a little different, but so is Ewing. Usually the center fielder flash before his eyes. Here's Pages, the left flip routine this time, doesn't have to dodge. So Daniel Duarte taking over for retiring the first 2 in the Dodger lineup. Now Freddie Freeman comes up. Been pretty good to go on the East Coast. After always good because you're a little nervous. I know I was always nervous. Did the break help? Freddie Freeman's got a just snuck it by Simeon. Just has a unique way with his hands, the barrel. Doesn't matter if it's off the end. Plate. Muncy is quite glad. Close to breaking balls ready to lefty. You're talking about Dodgers starting the second half the way they are. They played ugly. They didn't hit. But to come out and go to 6-2 on that trip, or on this trip today. It's a 4-strikeout game for Muncy. Dodgers 4, Mets 1.
History shows one move in July.
Maybe not what Andrew would expect, but man, oh man, I'm telling you, first player Joe Buck headed into the Hall of Fame this weekend. I was at 12 or 13. I want to be just like him. I want to be like Joe Buck, who was calling, I think, his 4th World, showing me the way the job should be done. Amen to that. Journeys happen. I never thought mine would be in the booth after I retired. Colts fan, sitting out there in the Braves hat. Alex Vesia in a single. Vesia quietly, the last few years, up fastball. Yeah, there it is. Couple that with his slider. One gone in the 7th, and down to Kenny.
Well, obviously, I want to congratulate Chip, but I also want to mention the writer who won the BBWAA's career covering the Indians and then the Guardians. Also,
what's the Hall of Fame weekend like? It's a blast. It's relaxing. My hair just stands up. Never get a chance to be around. It just does an incredible job because Johnny takes all the young. What he does is pretty unique. He tells you to go on the porch of Osago and what it's like and what it means to you. And it really is a cool 5 minutes.
Say that it's a relaxing weekend, given your 8-hour round.
But it's still, I always said, it just heard this weekend will be the most Hall of Famers ever. Beltran and Jones and Jeff Kent.
These franchises can lay partial claim to. Even Andrew Jones had 1 year with this for David Cone partway through his rookie year. So the first part of his career was here with the Warriors, and we all know what Carlos Beltran did for the Mets. 3-0 on Lindor. But he could. He was the player development head, so he wasn't.
I honestly think the Mets can do exactly what the Braves are doing. They had all kinds of injuries. The year was lost. This year, they come out and do the same thing next year, but that's going to be the hard question to ask, and the patience next year, they're going to be just fine.
Bichette, who knocked in their lone run, back it out. It's just a bad, nightmarish year with a bunch of injuries.
Young arms into shape, and you could see what they could build.
But you're right, they've got the foundational pitching. But a core of a rotation, core young guys. Bounces this one down to third from Muncy.
History shows one move in July.
At the top of the 8th inning, Mookie Betts takes the ball from Duarte. We say thanks to Google Cloud for the 3 in the 3rd inning. Dodgers got their 4th run in the 5th. Home run for the Mets. Mookie Betts 1 for 3. Rounder pass.
Wow, and that's not playing that position. First baseman, watch this right here. He's got, oh, where are you going?
Hadn't started there since May 1st, and this year. Tommy Edman waves over the first one from Duarte. We had a long way to go by the time. On surgery, missed most of 2 seasons. His 5th game is in some pain after that.
He's got hit 2 different spots where his hand is. Watch where it gets him. Right on the wrist of his glove.
He's had a thumb injury, a pinky injury, a wrist injury, a hand injury. Up a little bit, now forearm bruised. Sleeper Picks, sponsored headed into the deadline. A lot of candidates. Going to have a lot of calls coming here to David Stearns and the Mets. They're going to be free agents at the end of the season or in 1 more year. As deep do they end up going into that roster in the sell-off?
Fairly deep, Joe, because they have trades. You see Peralta and Holmes. Holmes has the player option, but he's like Shane D. relievers. A.J. Minter and Brooks Raley. The outfielders, Luis Robert Jr. But Luke Weaver. The Mets have him for another year. They want to compete.
I mean, with that in mind, Kenny, is there going to be any major league talent that'll come back to New York, you think?
The way the deadline is setting up, you have very few sellers. I want some major league talent. Now, with players on expiring contracts, just 2+ probably will be the bulk of prospects coming back. But at the same
ouch. Tucker.
These sellers more so than buyers. I don't know that I believe that. Done really well for them coming over from Toronto. Kike Hernandez is coming back to play. Now, they've got a ton of prospects. And they also know that as John to include greater payroll restrictions, and the Dodgers are going for a 3, they might not want to pay the price.
Tommy Edman was running with that pitch. He'll head back.
They keep playing well. And as they keep playing well, if they hit it, if someone gives them what they're looking for, regardless of where they are in the standings. But at the same time, and John, I want to hear you, but that's a difficult thing to do when you've got a chance in a weak American League.
Would understand if it changes your franchise, knowing you're not going to re-sign him. Know what the players said. The player is saying all the right things. He wants to finish with Detroit. Most crucial 7 days for the Detroit Tigers, because if they do win 5 out of 6, not re-signing this guy, I don't know how. But here's a boatload of prospects that could change your franchise moving forward.
Series this year with Stubble?
Well, that's why the next 7 days are going to be so important. I mean, they have not here, but I also don't think.
Edman runs again. Tucker fouls it again. Marathon here.
Risk reward of you're either left with nothing and no playoffs, or you have one.
On the way to a 5th consecutive win. Here's a strike him out, throw him out. Anybody who's getting greedy thinking they might turn him into their team. Between the Dodgers to the Mets in his career for the Dodgers. Dave Roberts is talking to us, John, about what is to be accomplished over the last most this year. He, without hesitation, said this guy, Edgardo Henriquez, in his Blanco. 2.41 ERA for Henriquez, who 24 out of Cumana, Venezuela. Look out, he got hit.
101 isn't going to feel real good.
Bench board to lead off this 8th inning. Up comes Luis Robert. Man. 2-0. Fights it off foul. 2 balls and a strike on Robert. The one fully healthy season that Robert's had. He had 38. Henriquez. Robert takes it low and the count is full. Let's try to put back. Spoils it, stays alive. On the first game of this series last night by a final of 4-2. They've won all 4 matchups. Way overthrows this one. The Mets not knowing where it's going so far.
Timing of the ball coming out of his glove. I think about some of the cues of get back to
Has just won his first season with the Mets. He also has won in the 8th. Enriquez deals. Sends the zone. Good visit from Mark Pryor. The Mets have 5 hits. On an 0-1, Polanco fouls it off, strike 2.
Couple strikes up in the zone right there. See what he does. He may stay.
This is up with the 4-seam.
Fuera el bateador zurdo y los rompientes a los zurdos le han pegado, le pegó al corredor de
Enriquez. Polanco watches a miss for ball 2. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Just caught the top of the zone.
They did lower the strike zone. They went
strictly human zone, but that's a spot where you can go to and get overturned calls.
The crazy part about it, you're not really taught to throw a high breaking ball.
Ties him up with 101, but he's able to lay it off. 2-1, Simeon swings through a fastball. 2-2. Got it by him, strike 3. 102. Turn it up and empty arm.
It's like that.
Take a hack at guessing
the baby is due up, and Tanner Scott's coming in.
That's Bobby Cox. During his
coming up next weekend on Fox, it's the Yankees and the Cubs. Who's in front? 2-run double from Tyrone Taylor last inning, making a 1-run game. And here's Jared Young's into the game to play first base after Beatty had been pinch hitter. And this season, 1 blow-up game against the Braves, but outside of that, he's Hernandez. It's under this one and for the first out. Switch hitter, righty-lefty. Of Roberts Gibson. Almost hits Russia.
No se quebró, pero le dio con la parte más delgadita y el otro le va.
To first and caught by Young. Initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. Mr. Matt hoping for something to cheer for. 9th, Otani, who's 0 for 4 today, takes the ball. Deals with that knee issue. Sends this one in the air to left field. Is there, and that's a 7-pitch inning for Braziban. So best it off for New York.
History shows one move in July. Impact all
of us. Give you an idea how we got here. Yamamoto, 6 innings, gave up just 1 run. 2 in the 8th. To get to within 1, and it's going to be Brock Stewart right in his career. One as a rookie in 2017, and the other one in 2020.
The heartbeat will be different, I guarantee you. It's not just another
high strike, and again, those 2 channel out. And soon after they got him last year, he was injured, so it's shut 12 games since getting healthy. Lindor.
Batazo elevado en la zona de foul. Estamos en la parte baja de la novena entrada. Los Ángeles buscando, obviamente.
Almost got it.
That's where the target was. Still missing.
Got him with the high fastball, right where he wanted it.
Got it away and got it up. Both places.
So 1 away in this 9th inning, brings up Bo Bichette.
Este puede golpearlo bien.
Just misses away. 1 challenge left.
En el medio y le da ese rolincito. Ahora hay que fajarse con este muchachito que
it's 1-0. Bichette
puede enganchar un
bounces on towards the middle.
Dos rodados, pero también se pasa por medio. Abanica, pero con unas intenciones malísimas.
A little bit hotter, a little bit faster.
La muñeca
looking for his first save. Strike 1, that thing dancing.
Lanzamiento localizado muy bien, con buen comando también de ella. Se abanicando tremenda.
0-2.
Alcanzar Los Ángeles no solamente ganan este encuentro 4 carreras a 3 de
Brock Stewart picks up his first save of the year. They're 5-0 against New York this year, and they are 6-2
on the road once again. But when they scored to it late night, but early morning, great festivity.
The studio, Chris Myers on the D train. Down Troy Willis on a post-game.